Welcome back, Source Nation. You're listening live to Renaissance Relationship Therapy with Life Purpose Coach Tem'ti.
Good evening, Source Nation. I am your host and relationship advocate, Tem'ti Sahu, and I want to welcome you to another edition of Renaissance Relationship Therapy, the show that gives you the relationship view you never knew, and it's a view that has the power to change everything. So, Source Nation, I read this the other day, and it was about a single guy who's a confirmed bachelor, and this is to do with today's show, all right? So a guy's a confirmed bachelor, and he said this about his married friends. I doubt many of them would actually choose to trade places with me. Although they may miss the thrill of sexual novelty, absolutely nobody misses dating. And I thought about that. And it's true. If you're in a relationship, yes, you may miss, the odd Friday night, getting somewhere. But the actual dating process, i.e. the money spent, the time wasted, the lies, the insecurities, the social media stalking, there's no denying it. Modern dating tends to suck more than it delivers. And we as human beings, unfortunately, we are hardwired to seek love and companionship. So we have to deal with dating to get there. And yet, the actual skills for successfully dating and navigating this whole arena of hanging out with others for the sake of romance, we're pretty much clueless to a large extent. Of course, there may be someone out there that puts up with all of this because they want to date with purpose. They want to find a long-term partner, so they put up with trying to deal with all the crap that comes with dating. And if that's you, then this show is for you, okay? Modern dating is complicated, and it can be everything and nothing at the same time. It's a revolving door, expectations getting broken, you're running on empty, but you still want to do it. So you have to face up to the harsh truths about modern dating, okay? And this will help you deal with the reality and prepare you for the unexpected. So this is what we're talking about. Harsh truths about modern dating that no one will tell you. No one but us anyway. And joining us today to talk about these harsh truths of modern dating is dating specialist Krystal Love. And she's here because she's actually started a very original site called HelloDutchUncle.com. And it offers refreshingly honest dating advice with a sprinkle of humor. And that's exactly what you're going to need to swallow these harsh truths that we're going to be breaking down a little later on in the show. So you definitely need to stick around for that, Source Nation, okay? Also, we are joined again by our special co-host, Krystal Scott of GorgeousByNature.com. And Krystal and I, as usual, we're going to be chopping it up before our guest comes on and talking about some interesting things that are going on in the world of dating, as well as always throwing a few fun facts your way. And lastly, in case you haven't heard, we have a casting call for a new web feature that we are currently filming, all right, from Meet My Types Matchmaking, and it's called Love Tells. And it's, like I said, it's a web project where we're helping couples figure out their situation, all right? And if you've been dating or you know someone who's been dating for a few months and they're at the point where it's like, are we right for each other, then we want to talk to you, okay? So if it's you or someone else in this situation, go to www.meetmytypes.com/love-tells, or one word, for more info and how to submit for this project. We definitely want to talk to you and, help you get through your changes of your relationship. All right, so let me go ahead and thank our sponsors real quick who have made this show possible. They are Zulina Health, Wellness and Fitness, Paper to Film Productions, Revolution Mills, Renovation, Urban Grandstand Digital, Meet My Types Matchmaking, Blend to Blend Juice Bar Boutique, and New Covenant of Praise Worship Center. Also, Source Nation, remember to tune in every other Monday for Love Zone Mondays with Kathy B. and co-host Dr. D. Yvonne Young as they speak with us about applying principles to strengthen and restore our relationships as we strive for longevity and success. Real good show, people. Definitely need to tune into that. So Today we're discussing harsh truths about modern dating that no one will tell you. This is going to be a very interesting show, Source Nation. I hope you're ready for this. I really hope you are. We will be talking with Krystal Love from the dating advice site HelloDutchUncle.com about today's topic, harsh truths about modern dating that no one will tell you. And I ain't going to lie, this is going to be kind of hardcore with some of these revelations. They're going to sting a little, but trust me, some of them, you may already know, but if you don't, then you really do need to learn all of them, because ignorance of these truths is just going to hurt you way, way more. But, we're going to start off nice and easy, and for that we have our favorite guest presenter in the house, Krystal Scott from GorgeousByNature.com. Hey, Krystal, it's going to be a rough show today. Are you going to go easy on everyone? And by the way, everyone, yes, we have two Krystals. We've got Krystal Love, who is going to be coming on the show, and we have Krystal Scott, who's from GorgeousByNature.com. So let's try and like.
I was gonna highlight that, Tem'ti. You gotta go to Krystal Light today.
Yes, so many crystals in the studio. I'm just blinded.
We're just sparkling all over the place.
Right? So Krystal, real quick, it's been a couple of weeks since we last spoke. Just real quick, what have you been up to? How's everything been going?
Everything is going awesome. I am super excited to have a couple of programs in the works. As you mentioned earlier, I am the creator of GorgeousByNature.com, where our focus is living healthy and looking gorgeous naturally. So it's basically all about a natural approach to health and beauty. And what I love about this concept is it's basically rooted in getting healthy and then understanding that beauty is the result of living healthy. So that is a natural approach to beauty. And it's through what we eat, through the products that we use for personal care, cosmetics, and makeup for the women, as well as home care. So all of those are the key areas in our lives where we're, it's really important to know and understand labels and ingredients and what we're exposing ourselves to, because that can play a huge role in whether we're building our health or breaking it down. And I'm here to help us build our health up. And as we build up that healthiness, we're going to discover that the end result is the beauty that we all want. We want to live our best and look our best. We want to do it naturally. And especially when we're talking about dating and relationships, we want to look our best, for our date. And so, and we want to have energy and all of those things that create a healthy relationship. So my business is something that helps us, like I said, live and look our best in our relationships and our business and life in general. So I'm really excited about the programs that I have coming up that will help us do that. And so just stay tuned. I'll be sharing more details about that very soon.
Perfect. Excellent. Always good to hear progress and things that are helping people. We'd love to do that on this show. And I know that, we spoke a little bit about, these harsh truths of modern dating. And you actually had some information for everyone that was going to kind of like help them, I guess, navigate the dating waters, just like, I guess this is the calm before, the second hour storm. But you had some cute positive dating advice.
That is absolutely right, Tem'ti, and we're going to dive right into that. First of all, let's talk about what some of the most common challenges that people face on those first few dates. And that's really important to take a look at, because basically that's the foundation, and how that starts off can impact how it develops from there. So let's talk about, first of all, what are some of the issues, areas that people sometimes get tied up with. For example, it's really important to, when we talk about feeling relaxed, less nervous on that first date, expressing ourselves more authentically, drawing out important information without seeming like it's an interview for a job, making the person feel comfortable, and also appearing to be, giving the impression that you're engaged in what they're saying, you're interested, because we've all heard the saying that people, the number one subject that everyone loves to talk about is themselves. So how can you make a person feel like you're really interested in what they're saying?
That's a fine line, Krystal. That's a fine line, to talk about yourself. And we've all been in a situation where it's like, really, dude? Now you're telling me about your third job and your second Mercedes. Is like, sometimes I guess there's just got to be a way you talk about yourself, I guess. Otherwise you can sound really bad when you do,
That is very true. That is very true. Yeah, and you want it to be a dialogue and not a monologue. So, and that is, again, where it comes down to the kind of questions that we ask on that first date to get the conversation moving. Right. And it is about a balance. It's about a balance and a flow and a harmony and an interaction that makes both people feel interested and engaged and like they're both contributing, to the experience. So let's take a look. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was about to say, so how do you talk about yourself and make it a dialogue rather than it sounding in a monologue? How do you pull somebody in and get that conversation? That's what I would want to know.
Well, basically, it's about what the other person is asking you. You're talking about yourself. It's important, in my opinion, you want to say enough that you answer the question without actually giving them a whole thesis,
Right.
So it's like answer the question, make it relevant, and then, maybe ask them, their experience in that same area, but don't just keep it, focused on you for 30 minutes. Find a way to say what's relevant, what's important, the main information you want to share, and then give the ball back again, because the ball has to keep going back and forth. It's like a game of tennis. If the ball stays in my court the whole time, we're not actually playing a game.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So now it's also, I think, important, the person asking the questions, there's certain ways that you can ask questions and certain kinds of questions you can ask that will actually help the other person to answer the question in a way that does keep the conversation interesting and keeps it engaging and moving.
Right. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Right. So, for example, asking open-ended questions. Those are questions that require more than just yes or no. That's a closed-ended question. So if you ask, like if I say, Tem'ti, are you cold right now?
Well, that's a good question because, in 1972, I remember feeling a second, right there, the date's like, check, please. No, but I'm for real. A question like that, it's a dead end. It's like you're either cold or you're not cold. And where do we go from here? So I get what you're saying, Krystal. Open-ended questions. All right. So what are some examples of the types or the best kind of questions that can really get a conversation going on a first date or any date for that matter?
Exactly. And again, so the open questions are questions that require more than a one-word response. So they require the person to really open up and share information. And a really good one to start off with that's fun and that both of you I'm sure will get a lot from is, what's your favorite scene from your favorite book or movie? So everyone has a favorite book or movie, and they love talking about it because it's their favorite. So asking them what that is a great way to learn about their personality, their interests, what kind of movies they like, what kind of books they like. And it tells you a lot about, their personality, their experiences in life, their outlooks on life and in the scenes that they're describing. And that is a great way to learn a lot about a person.
I guess so. As long as their favorite movie isn't some black and white movie from like 1910 that you've never heard of, then that might be a bit of a conversation killer. But I definitely could.
Even if you haven't heard of the movie, the movie is not the point. The point is to learn about them. So
Right.
you're going to still learn all that information about them no matter what they say, because it could be a movie that just came out last month and you still may not have heard about it. But you're going to learn about that person, and you're going to learn about, what kind of media they like, what their interest is in terms of entertainment, or what they find relevant, informative, enlightening, what they may tell you. That's why it's open-ended. There's no telling, what you're going to learn and be able to pull out from that person just based on understanding their favorite, scene from their favorite book or movie.
And I guess if it's something that gets them excited, that's all you pray for on a date. Yeah, something that's just going to spark it up. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. It's not bad. Let me write that one down.
What's your favorite book or movie, and what's your favorite scene?
There's so many. Empire Strikes Back when Luke is doing the Jedi training. Of course, that speaks to inner spiritual development, which I'm a big fan of. Matrix when Neo is kind of realizing who he is. Again, that whole kind of inner awakening thing, stuff like that. That's what I like. So yeah, if I can talk about that on a date and they respond to that, oh yeah, the fire started. Wow.
Excellent.
Wait. What's your favorite scene or book or movie?
Well, my favorite movie is one of my favorite movies is one that's coming to mind now. It's going to be The Best Man, and I love that movie because it's a romantic comedy. So I love rom-coms, and I love all the romantic scenes. So that would be my favorite movie that comes to mind right now. So if it's a black rom-com, a black romantic comedy, I'm sold. I'm in. I love it. I love everything about it.
Interesting. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, because of how you sound so kind of happy and chirpy, I was expecting maybe something with some unicorns and some butterflies. but romantic comedies are good. That'll work. Okay. So that was a good one. I wrote that one down. Where else you go, Krystal? What else?
Okay. Also, another really great question is to ask, what do you love about your job? And to the contrary, a closing question would be like, or the standard, not so revealing question would be, what do you do? That's kind of just like a one word or one phrase answer. But it could be if they don't like what they do or they don't find, it doesn't bring out as much excitement as when you say, what do you love about your job? Because then, it gives them a chance once again to talk about something that excites them, something that they love, something they enjoy, and something that they're going to want to elaborate on. So, so asking, what do you love about your job is definitely a great way to open up a conversation and keep it flowing versus asking just simply, what do you do? Because when you ask what you love about your job, when you ask what do you love, you're going to also get what do you do as well. You're going to get both of them answered from that statement. And so basically it opens up more doors with just one question.
And I guess that's when you're really going to tap into somebody's passion. What are they passionate about?
Exactly. And that gives you a little insight into their heart, where their heart is and what they find, what they enjoy in life and in general. Because if it's something that they love about their job, chances are it's something that can also be applied to their life in general. Like for me in the work that I do, I love sharing information that empowers people. So I do that for work, but then I do that for personal too. Like I love to share knowledge that enlightens and empowers and awakens people. So that makes me very passionate. And that's what I love, because I love seeing people operate at their fullest, highest potential. So if you just ask me, what do I do? I might say, I'm a coach and speaker. But if you ask me, what do I love about what I do? Then that gives me a chance to really expand on, the idea that I love to empower people and why I love to empower people.
That's a really good question. Wow, it's almost like you're getting to see everything about the real them with with that one.
Mm-hmm.
That really is going to open up. All right, I like that one. Okay, that's good. That's good. So what? You got better ones than that?
Well, here's one I really love. I love to ask anyone this question. You know, I think this question is relevant to you. You can ask friends, family, first date, whatever, your significant other. I think this is a question everyone should contemplate. If money were no object, what would you do with your life? How would you spend your time? What would each day look like for you if money were no object? In other words, if you already had all the money in the world, how would you spend each day?
That could be a hard question, Krystal. If money were no object, what would you do with your life? I'll be honest with you, I'd probably do what I'm doing now, to be honest with you.
Boom, there you go. That lets me know that what you're doing now is your purpose, and you do it for free. And that lets me know that that is truly your passion.
Okay. I see where you're going. Yep. Absolutely. I thought the one about work was good, but this one here, I mean, you really find out if this is the kind of person that likes to get out of bed and change the world, or they just want to feel like, I just don't want to do anything with my life, which may turn you on or turn you off. I guess if someone can answer that, they've thought about it. Because I really had to think, what would I do with my life? You get so caught up in just doing what you do because you have to, but never really think about what you do because you want to. And if your answer is like, well, I party all day and whatnot, that can kind of like, right there, red flag or whatever. But no, it's a real good question and takes a lot of thought to answer, and it's definitely the kind of question, like you said, that will open up a great conversation, between you and someone. If you can't have a conversation of that, then yeah, you're probably not a good fit for each other. That date probably isn't going to go well, Wow, that's good. And have you ever had to ask anyone that question actually on a date, or has anyone ever asked you that?
Like I said, if that's the question I ask everyone, because I just am interested. Well, first of all, I like to ask that question because I really actually want to encourage people to think about that, because one day that could be their reality, and if it were, let's think now about what you would want to do with your day and your time. And it also, I feel like it helps people to dive into like their deeper purpose for being here. Because like you said, it's so easy to get caught up in what we have to do, and which is, for most of us, we feel like what we have to do is go to a 9 to 5, whether we like it or not. And that's how we spend most of our time each day. But what if we didn't have to do that? If we had that basic survival level covered, and now we could talk about thriving, not just surviving, what would make us thrive? What would make us feel like we're thriving? What would our contribution be to the world at that level?
Right.
Like you said, someone may say, "Oh, I just want to go to the beach every day," and that's fine. And they may find that they do that maybe for a couple months or a couple of years, but at some point they'll probably come to a realization that now they're ready to get back at a higher level because now they want to do something with more significance. And so that's where that thinking comes in, that deep thinking, like how now that I've done everything I wanted to do, now how can I give back? And then that's when it's like, okay, now we're diving into what is that person really exploring their higher purpose on the planet.
Absolutely.
Or it could be something as simple as I want to not only do I want to go and open up schools in Asia and Africa, but I also want to learn salsa dancing, and I want to learn how to make pottery. So it's not just those really big purpose-filled goals, but also maybe something that has to do with their personal interests, like art, dancing, painting, cooking. That also is a great way to learn about their personal interests as well.
Right, and I guess that can definitely open up things then for ideas for a second date. Because based off that, you could be like, hey, well, you're into that? I didn't know that. Let's go and try this next time.
Yes, great point, Tem'ti. Great point. That's so true. Absolutely.
All right.
Now, another good question. Yeah, another good one is, what is your definition of a great relationship? So why do you think that's important?
I guess you know what? some people's idea of a relationship is like, oh, we're going to have sex all day. We're going to have sex all day. And you might have just had back surgery like 2 weeks ago. And it is not like, I can't do this. Or some people just have grown up, I guess, arguing all the time, and they love that whole kind of breakup, makeup thing. And, they love all that drama. And if your idea of a good relationship is like, look, we just get on peacefully, we hold hands, we don't have to say too many words, you two probably may not get along. So I guess it's definitely, you definitely need to know where somebody's head is at relationship-wise. So, if you have the same kind of expectations of each other, I guess.
Absolutely, because it helps you to discover whether you're both on the same page, which is really important. Now, granted, it may take a little bit of time to build up to asking that question, so it may not be the first one you want to dive into, but at some point it's definitely worth covering that to make sure you're both coming from the same perspective and understanding and the same expectations. So like you say, one person's definition of great could be, ice cold, someone else's is burning hot. And so just to say, those are two opposite extremes. So it's really important to understand what they're looking for. Are they looking for just hanging out, having a good time, or are they looking for really to seriously start building a future together, and like this is really good for making sure that the compatibility is there in the sense of what we're both here for, because the worst thing is when one person has the idea that it's going one way and the other person has the idea that it's going a completely opposite way, and they never talked about it. And then they get into it and they finally talk about it, and then, it's this huge, devastation because they're on two different levels or two different, understandings of things. And they may or may not be able to meet in the middle at that point.
Yeah, and talking about it at the beginning, I guess, saves you the hassle of, going 3 or 6 months into the relationship, and then you're asking a question, well, what do you think we should do? Well, I don't agree with that. Well, why would you think that way? Why would you think I would do that? And you can avoid all that by actually understanding, where their head is at when it comes to relationship. But again, you got to count on that person and hope that they're honest. And one of the things I think about all these questions so far is that it's going to help you build up a profile. Because, truth is, everything should connect. I guess all the answers should connect and create a general idea of who and what this person is before you. And if those answers don't all connect, because you got to go home and think about that, and that can either tell you, okay, something's missing, something about this person. Let me hold off on getting close. Let me just find out a little bit more. I think, trying to get all the answers from these questions, they should form some kind of profile that kind of lets you know how genuine this person is, and that's priceless. That kind of information, absolutely priceless.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah.
So last question we want to dive into is, what do you value about your friendships and family? And this one is great because, a person's relationship with friends and family, people that are close to them, it really tells you a lot about their relationship IQ. It helps you understand their insights on dating. So what is relationship IQ, Tem'ti?
You mean emotional intelligence? I mean, we speak about emotional intelligence, so I guess, yeah. Yeah, okay.
Exactly. Yeah, so, you get an insight about understanding, do they like, for example, some people come from really big families. They have lots of brothers and sisters and nieces and nephews and aunts and uncles, and during holidays or special occasions or even just every weekend, everyone loves to get together and hang out and cook dinner, and it's a lot of noise and a lot of, But then they're dating you, and you haven't seen your family in 20 years, and you just like to live on your own and don't like no hassle. Exactly.
Why is that funny,
for me, for example, I'm an only child, so it would be quite an adjustment to be in a situation where because I'm an only child and I'm used to fairly quiet, peaceful, simple, and sort of go to the opposite extreme of, like loud, crazy, which I can do both very well, but just to say that I'm not used to doing the opposite of that every weekend, I could do it once in a while, but every weekend would be an adjustment, to say the least. So, yeah, it's definitely important to understand how they value friendships and family and what their family and friendship experience has been.
People always talk about how the relationship with your mother or the relationship with your father is going to be a great indicator of how you actually get on with people of the opposite sex. So that can be very interesting when you hear about those relationships,
Very true. Very, very good point. Yep.
All right. No, those are good questions. Can you recap them again? In fact, in case anybody missed any, gives a chance to write them all down again. Run down the 5 questions real quick.
Sure. Number 1, what's your favorite scene from your favorite book or movie? Okay. Number 2, what do you love about your job? Number 3, what's your definition of a great relationship? 4, if money were no object, what would you do with your life? And lastly, what do you value about your friendships and family?
Wow. Okay. 5 questions to ask on a date. All right. Those are really good. Those are really, really good. And I hope everyone out there wrote those down like I did. And, can't wait for next Friday to try them out. Good fun.
No, we're going to be looking for a report. We're doing research here, yeah.
So, Krystal, can you give out your number to all of us in case they're going wrong? Like, Krystal, they're not answering the question. What do I do?
Yeah, 1 second, Krystal. Let me look up your number. That's what I'm going to get.
Yeah, and things are definitely going to go wrong. No, that's really good. That is really, really good. And it's funny, it's like, again, this whole thing of like, supporting relationships, supporting, giving people the confidence to go out there and date successfully. This is one of the things that we speak about, of course, with Meet My Types, where we look at your dating instincts and personality type. And I guess all of this comes out in these 5 questions. If people don't know your dating instincts, like your core values, all right? We have 3 instincts. There's like a social instinct, a sexual instinct, and a security instinct. And we only use 2 of the instincts at any given time. And the 2 instincts that we use, they kind of define how we express ourselves. So if I was going to speak about like shopping, and my social instinct is my primary instinct, I'm going to speak about, well, I love shopping with my friends. I love shopping for other people. I love buying stuff to give away. You're going to focus on the social. But if you're like, if your sexual instinct is your primary, then you're going to talk about, oh, my God, I just love buying something, that feeling of like, bringing it home and tearing open the paper. And, the sexual instinct isn't just about sex, but it's about intense experiences, intense feelings from whatever you're doing. And the security instinct is, you'd be like this about shopping. Well, I had to see how much I had in my wallet, and then I had to make sure that when I got the stuff, I took it and put it in the trunk of my car. Then I went back and started shopping again. And, you see 3 very different approaches to the same thing. And this is the kind of stuff that when someone talks about that, like, let's just say, you have the security instinct with the shopping, and it's like, yeah, I bought an item, and I took it to the trunk of my car and put it in there. That's the kind of thing that's like someone's like, oh, my God, I do the same thing. I just did that the other day. You do that too? Those instincts help you connect instantly, because that's what you talk about on the surface, how you do things. Now, what you bought may be totally different things. And because yes, you both had the same instinct. You locked stuff you bought in the trunk of your car. However, I bought a gun. I bought a gun and a ton of bullets, and you may have bought a book on world peace and green economy. And the fact that I bought guns and you bought a book on green peace economy show our different personalities, and that's the other side of dating. So you've got your instincts, which you connect on, but in order for there to be long-term to be long-term potential, then the personalities also have to match up. Now, if you get the instincts right and you get the personalities right, i.e., it's like, oh, you bought guns too? I love guns, blah, blah, blah. Then, because, you may have a certain type of defensive or aggressive personality, then, of course, you're going to get on great. We do give out a lot of information to help people at our events to match them up based on their instincts and based on their personality. But if you don't have the information, if you don't have it at hand, definitely ask them these 5 questions. It will come out anyway, and that's what you want. This information about their instincts and their personality type will come out in those 5 questions, and at that point, you really have everything you need to kind of take home, digest in your gut, and really see how you feel about that person. So, we definitely good if you don't have the benefit of the information that we give out at Meet My Types. But in addition to that, real quick, I just wanted to remind everybody about Love Tells. Again, it's a project that we're doing with couples where we're helping them figure out their short and long-term compatibility. So if you're in a relationship and you believe it's time to take a step forward, like, you got past the honeymoon stage and it's like, okay, what are we doing? Where's this going? Then we want to hear from you. If you have been dating for at least 2 months and you've asked yourself the following, like, are we right for each other? Will this really work? Are we missing something? If that's you or someone you know, we want to talk about it, okay? We'll use HIPAA, our personality analysis tool, and some good old common sense to work with you to uncover your relationship and show you what it looks like. And so you just need to go to meetmytypes.com/lovetells, or one word, LOVETELLS, Love Tells, and we will work with you, get you filmed, and start something that's going to inspire a lot of people. So yeah, good stuff. So any last words and thoughts, Krystal, that you have for everyone else? Any kind of follow-ups on those 5 questions? I mean, what do they need to do? Do they need to kind of like try and find a date now? Do they need to be happy and eager to do it? Like, what do you want to lead them with?
Well, basically, just the idea that I guess the whole point is just to find ways to create easy social interaction and social dialogue. And we're creatures of communication. So we love to communicate. Like I said, the number one thing that anyone loves to talk about first and foremost is themselves. So finding an easy way to draw out information about another person is always going to be a winning situation. And this doesn't just apply in the dating arena. It applies at work, at networking events, at family gatherings, anywhere that you are basically interacting with other people. You can use these same skills and ideas.
Wow.
And maybe some of the same questions as well. So it's just an important skill to develop overall in life, period, and especially when we're talking about dating.
I just had an idea. We could actually, everyone, when you go out, everyone's always on their phone anyway. You could have these questions on your phone, dude. You could have them on your phone. It's like, these questions. Oh, no, just I'm at work. But you're like, okay, what's the next question? Like, because you can't write it on your hand. You can't write it on your hand now, So I guess your phone. That's what, That's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to type this in my phone, use it as my screensaver, and just look at it. Yep. All right. I figured it out. So Krystal, all right, we're about to wrap this up. If people want to get a hold of you, because I know you said, you're still getting things ready. You're almost like, I know you're so close to launching your site. But if anybody does have any questions about, was it gorgeousbynature.com?
Correct.
And they want to get on your mailing list.
Exactly, absolutely. Thank you for that, Tem'ti. Yeah, and they can also find me on social media, on Facebook at Gorgeous by Nature, and then on Instagram, Gorgeous_by-Nature.
All right, perfect. That works. All right, Krystal. Well, just real quick, anything interesting you got for the next 7 days, or before the next time we talk? Anything you're going to be working on that we need to be looking forward to?
Yeah, well, something I'm really excited about is a guide that I'm creating that's going to share easy ways to add soul food flavor to whole food dishes. And especially with Thanksgiving coming up, I'm sure that there's going to be a lot of good pointers you'll be able to take away from that if you're looking at ways to create a healthier Thanksgiving spread. So be on the lookout for that. And if you want more information, definitely find me on social media or on my website, gorgeousbynature.com.
Perfect. Thanks for that, Krystal. Much appreciated. Everybody, you heard the word. Healthy Thanksgiving. She got it. 5 questions to ask on a date that you can sneakily put on your phone. Krystal's got it. Yeah, and health and beauty tips to look your best and feel your best on a date. Krystal got it.
Yes.
So definitely seek her out, and of course, her information is going to be on the Source Nation website and social media also. So we're about to wrap this up for our first hour, and I just hope you are ready for our special guest. Krystal was special, but this is a different kind of special guest. Coming up next is the other Krystal, dating advisor and specialist, Krystal Love. Krystal Love with a C. And she'll be in the studio to discuss the harsh truth about modern dating that no one will tell you. So that's going to be a real good follow-on from what we've just been discussing. And once again, a big shout-out to all our sponsors who have made this show possible, and they are Zulina Health, Wellness, and Fitness, Paper to Film Productions, Revolution Mills, Rain Ovations, Urban Grandstand Digital, Meet My Types Matchmaking, Blend to Blend Juice Bar Boutique, and New Covenant of Praise Worship Center. Okay, so we're going to take a quick break. When we return, we shall have Krystal Love in the studio to have a conversation about harsh truths about modern dating that no one will tell you. Stay tuned, Soul Station. We'll be right back.
We'll be back, Source Radio Network, after this commercial break.
This program is brought to you by Paper to Film, Revolution Mills, Scott Cares Foundation, and Urban Grandstand Digital. Source Nation, join us 7 days a week, Eastern Standard Time, for Everything with Kathy B. On Mondays, join us from 6 to 7 for Family Mix Mondays with licensed professional counselor Jaquitra Bryant. From 7 to 8, we have Love Zone Mondays with Kathy B. And from 8 to 9, join us for the second hour of Love Zone Mondays with Kathy B. and Dr. D. Yvonne Young as they discuss topics that will help you strive for longevity and success in your relationships. On Tuesdays, join us from 6 to 8:30 for Sports Tuesdays with Steve Manderson. On Wednesdays from 6 to 7, we have Power Over Tomorrow with our resident financial advisor, Tyrone S. Mitchell. At 7, tune in for all of your political highlights on The Political Corner with Kevin Hezekiah. And from 8 to 9, join us for The Pendulum with Dr. Samori Swigert. On Thursdays, join us for our Healthy Cooking, Fitness, and Living segment. At 6, we have Healthy Cooking with Chef Keith. At 6:30, join us for The Right Workout with fitness specialist Vita McNeil Wright. At 7, tune in for Transforming Your Mind with licensed couple and family therapist Shy Porter. Join us at 7:30 for Healthy Living with our resident naturopathic physician, Dr. Jalisa. On Fridays, join us from 6 to 8 in the Ladies Lounge with Kathy B. From 8 to 9, tune in for Can We Talk with Master Relationship Coach Myra McKnight. And every fourth Friday, join us for Couples Talk with Dr. Ken and Myra McKnight. On Saturdays, join us for 2 amazing shows with host James Johnson. From 2 to 4, we have Indie Soul Saturdays, and every fourth Saturday, join us from 4 to 5 for the Indie Soul Saturdays Artist Countdown. Tune in as we play your top indie artists' songs for the month. Finally, every Sunday evening, join us for Mailbox Sundays. From 6 to 8, join us for Renaissance Relationship Therapy with Life Purpose Coach, Tem'ti. And finally, from 8 to 9, join us for Practical Principles for Kingdom Living with Pastor Kenny Smith. Tune in as Pastor Smith shares principles designed to help build your relationships with God and others. Join us 7 days a week here on the Source Radio Network.